Hey folks, I am on vacation at the moment, so we will have slightly lighter videos, hence this automatic progress recording video from Procreate. Also, the audio is recorded through my laptop mic, so my apologies for the low quality. I actually don't spend as much time on my iPad as one would think. As fantastic as this device is, I prefer drawing on my Cintiq 13 HD, which I have set up in a way that is almost vertical and it's at my eye height. The tablet, on the other hand, I use on the table as a sketchbook or I draw on my lap. Both positions are not great for ergonomy at all. So I usually end up drawing on the tablet when we are watching something where I don't need to pay too much attention and I can doodle around while sitting on the couch and listening to the TV. Or like in this case where I travel and I don't want to take my cumbersome drawing screen and its cable spaghetti with me. So while I was watching something not too interesting, I started doodling this long-limbed robot. Yes, probably sitting on the couch. And my robot designs I approach in two different ways. I either want to do something very functional, where the robot fulfills one specific purpose or role, or I want to come up with an interesting, different shape for my robot. Guess which one I went with this one? Yes, I did not think about the functionality at all with this one. I really wanted a weird, quirky new design I haven't done before. Sometimes the weirder the robot, the more I like it. And while my robot might not be designed with a specific purpose in mind, I always try to make sure that it at least is somewhat functional. So, while of course not everything might work properly, on a first glance the hinges are put correctly and there should be no major shapes or limbs that clip through each other if one follows the natural path of their movement. With all this sorted, the main thing I'm concentrating on is the feeling of my robot. I want something friendly and quirky and maybe just a bit clumsy. For this one I was thinking of something like C-3PO and BB-8 mixed together in a more Japanese mech inspired body. Lately I've been looking a lot at the amazing Brian Sum's robots, so if you recognize any elements from him, that is why. But I always make sure not to copy any of his elements, but just to be inspired by them. And I also look at references from other artists just to keep that visual library of mine fresh and mixed. While I was enthusiastic about coming up with a new robot design, I did take a longer break between the initial sketching and finalizing the design. The initial sketch I did around 2 or 3 weeks ago, and finalizing the design, cleaning up the lines and coloring it, I did during the last couple of days. And during these days I realized I don't really like this concept anymore, but since I haven't really finished an illustration in a long time, I kept on pushing myself. Sometimes just half an hour, sometimes a little bit more. But yesterday evening and this morning I sort of got into the flow of things and it really started going well. I was enjoying the whole drawing process. I am still not really into the final concept, but I am happy I stuck with it and managed to finish it and have a relatively presentable illustration. Just shows you that waiting around for motivation and inspiration is not always the right approach, well, almost never the right approach. Sometimes you really just have to push through it. You also need this mentality if you want to work professionally in any kind of creative field. And with that, I have said pretty much everything I wanted to say about this little robot drawing of mine. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe you learned something. And if you did, hit that like button and leave me a comment. Do you manage to push through non-motivated phases? Or how else do you deal with periods of no inspiration? You can also follow me on Instagram for more drawing related posts and check the description down below for a link to my Gumroad or coffee if you want to support me. This is my last video before Christmas, so I am wishing you all who celebrate it or celebrate anything else happy holidays and a peaceful time with friends and loved ones. Have a great time everyone. Bye bye!